tie. Let's see. I think this looks good. This will be good enough. Um, Today is day 19 of Tour de Fleece. Tour de Fleece, which means it is July 19th, and that we've only got a few days left to this spinning event. Um, I have been feeling pretty good about the how things have been going, where I'm at in my spinning and my goals and stuff. Um, so today I am working. You want to put it back on? Okay. Today I am working on. Hi, Shea Bear. How are you? Ayla, can you bring me the remote? I apologize if this is the evening edition of this, where I am. You're going to hear Baby Shark in the background and uh, a toddler probably asking me for things. It is real life, but you want to do that one? Okay. Can you give me the remote? Thank you. So today I am working on, I just finished the first bobbin of my second, you want to rewind it, my first bobbin of my second skein of the Dragonfly colorway on BFL from Evie, Jillian Eve. I have gone a drastically different route with this spin. So this is the first one that I did, and it's very, it's thick and thin, but like it's really, this was just kind of like a vibe spin, like just let it do its thing. I think it's like probably a heavy worsted, if not above an Aran. But this one, I am spinning decidedly finer with more, I don't know if that's going to show up very well. More intention, I suppose, is the word I'm looking for. So anyway, we'll see what that final yarn brings us. So yeah, I'm just enjoying this. I have got to turn down this Baby Shark. It's very loud. I'm coming right back, I promise. There's just so much loudness with the Baby Shark. There. Let's see if that's a little better. I am still doing it as a fractal. So this is the first half of the braid, just spun end to end, and then I have the second half is split into 3 different nests that will be, spun, one. And I love how the fractal came out on the chonky skein. So I'm interested to see how it translates to a thinner spin. It's one of those, like, I'm not a technical spinner. I'm not really. It would help if I put my drive band on and make sure that there we go. I'm not a technical spinner, and I don't mind that I'm not a technical spinner, but I am getting to the point in my spinning journey, skill building, repertoire, whatever. I am getting to the point where spinning for certain objects might be desirable at some point, but I've got so much hand spun from before that, before I could even consider that I kind of want to make sure I work through that. I have very intentional spins, I think, coming up working with the fleeces that I have, because I have ideas of what I want them to be and what that looks like. Uh, so, in order to do that, is that cool? Oh, really? They found her? Cool. I don't know. Are you, Shea Bear, are you a technical spinner or just learning? I can't remember if you said before, but I'm just figuring it out as I go. Goalposts change, I think, when you're developing skills. And like in knitting, I've knit for off and on for 20 years, but back in 2018, I decided to build skill in knitting, and that looked different every time I was changing, doing things. Shea Bear, you're most definitely not a technical spinner, but you've been spinning for many years. You just like to spin. That's kind of where I like. That's that's how I feel. And I don't know if I can be a technical spinner in the idea of always being a technical spinner. But if there's something I want to make with my hand spun, because I'm quickly learning that I prefer working with my hand spun to commercial fibers, I'm gonna have to figure out how to make yarn to fit what I want it to be. I feel like that right now. I may not actually have to do that. No technique, only vibes here. Hi, Faraday. Hi, Evie. I mean, Evie, you've been doing the most technical techniques for the past 2 years during your COE. So I can imagine vibe spins for you would be a welcome respite. Um, but you know what Tour de Fleece has taught me this year is that I do like sometimes being a little more mindful of what I'm doing spinning wise, because I had a couple of spins that were a little more like color management and short forward and paying more attention to what I was doing. Well, short forward, letting the twist in, if you will. But then after those, I decided, I was like, okay, I need to just spin and not care. And I did, and it was lovely and wonderful and freeing. Oh, hello, Coralie. Yeah, you're down under, huh? Glad to see you here. Um, and when, but then after I did my vibe spins, I was like, okay, but I kind of want to see if I can do this other thing. And if I want to see if I can do this other thing, then I have to approach it somewhat technically, like, because it's not a vibe spin if I'm just like, if I'm trying to do something specific, I think. Right? I don't know. What about, I mean, does my toddler is extremely excited about Baby Shark right now. So, and I do apologize for anybody joining. There is the Baby Shark in the background right now. Faraday, you think you're starting to get long draw? You're going to need much more practice to make it look as easy as Evie. Yeah, it is about balance, Evie. Technique is needed to get you where you want to go, but not so technical that it kills your joy. Exactly. Exactly. You know, I have I have had a few hobbies over the years that I don't know if I would have called them passions, but they were definitely hobbies. And I didn't learn until the fiber arts after 2018, that was weird. After 2018, I didn't learn how to just chill. Um, why is that being so weird? Uh, like gardening, like I did soil tests. I had all the amendments. I did all that. And then in a pit of PTSD, or not PTSD, PPD, I ripped that shit out, the whole thing. And I haven't gardened since. I mean, not in a serious way, not food, just, flowers and dash stuffs and things. But, you know, lifting weights and, doing fitness stuff, I did all the bullshit that comes along with that. I did powerlifting meets. I was tracking foods and doing all that crap, you know. And that sucks. It really does. It sucks the joy out of it, of feeling really awesome at picking up heavy things and putting them down and not hurting yourself, you know. Or it sucks the joy out of making like the most beautiful produce grow in your yard just by like kind of letting it do its thing. So, um, Shea Bear, I guess I have such a default spinning technique. It ends up being close enough. I do have the twist angle tools, but I haven't used them yet. I do have to think more when I do other drafts. Oh, and Evie, you're telling lots of practice to Faraday. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, if you want to do something else, Shea Bear, you can. But if you don't, you don't have to, you know? And like twist angle stuff, I still don't get that. And I don't know that I can ever like I understand the importance of that in having a consistent yarn that meets grist and all of that stuff, but honestly I don't know. Like especially for a big spin, I just don't see that I would be able to have the presence of mind to continue checking. Like when I look at like twist, do I have one in here? I do. No, I have a one of these. I actually have Evie's set from her shop downstairs with my other wheel, and I need to bring that up here with this one because that one has all of it goes up to a 60 WPI, I think. Um, but like using just one of these, just to like, all right, is it kind of the same thickness? Is probably about where my level of commitment to that data collection is going to be. Um, I'm not. I guess I think it also depends on the type of stuff you want to make, right? I mean, are you wanting to make looser fitting, a little more flowy, or or shawls? Like, do you just want to make shawls and you don't care about making actual garments? Then I mean, who the hell cares? You can make a shawl as big as or as small as you want with whatever yarn you want to. Um, you know, or are you trying to make like Marie Wallen color work things with your hand spun? Because that's going to require more specificity. Specificity, yes. Um, or like an Alice Starmore, whatever she makes. They're beautiful. I'm not saying they're not beautiful, but oh, good lord. Shea Bear, no close fitting things here. Faraday, you spun for a night shift shawl this spring. That's awesome. Shea Bear, you're more of a type B person, and I feel that. I am in a lot of things the idea of a type B. Um, I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because it kind of is quintessentially explains my husband and I. When we first got our very first apartment together, uh, we were moving in and decorating and stuff, and I went to go hang a trio of mirrors on the wall, and I kind of just eyeballed it and took a hammer and slammed 3 nails in the wall and hung up the mirrors. And my husband, throughout this whole thing, was just looking at me aghast that I didn't measure or use a level. I now use a level because it'll annoy me more if he goes to fix something that I put up? You want to put it back on? No? Okay. But I thought that was that's a pretty good explanation, I think, of me. Because it sucks the joy out of things, Shaver. Yeah, sometimes. You have Faraday. You have 5 skeins of beautiful yarn, but it did not work for the shawl. Why not? And Shaver, see, like this is why opposites work, though, because he has learned that hanging a picture on the wall does not need a project manager and like purchase orders. Like you can just put a freaking nail on the wall and hang it up. It's fine. I promise, it's fine. I mean, if it's heavy, put an anchor in or something. But I have also learned to use a level because if I want to put shelves up, I need them to hold the stuff I'm putting on the wall, right? Like I can't have my stuff rolling off of the shelves because so that's kind of, I think, it's good. Like, my husband and we complement each other, and I think that's what you kind of want in a relationship. It's helpful. So, I'm the one that's like, I'm just gonna paint. I'm not gonna I'll pull the stuff out from the walls. I'll wash the walls down. I don't tape things off. I paint. And then I ask him to come and look and see where I missed because inevitably I do. And there's only like one coat on a spot or something. And he comes and he tells me and I fix it. So, Faraday, there was not enough yardage, enough grams though, and it was just too thick. It looked kind of like a lumpy Afghan. I see. So grist, that's grist, right? Sorry for the yelling child. Grist is something that it took me really forever to understand. Even watching Evie's very well thought out and explained situation with that sweater of hers, I probably would have continued knitting it, but that's me, But yeah, now I am starting to understand grist and what that really means. I think I understood the concept, but I didn't fully get the practical applications of it. So it's just been, that's another part of that evolution of a spinner, right? It's like these things that you're like, that doesn't matter, and then all of a sudden you have a project and you're like, oh shit, that does matter, doesn't it? So, but I'm sure it's a very pretty lumpy Afghan Faraday. Not what you wanted, but I'm sure it's very pretty. Yeah. So that's. I hope I hope you found another use for the yarn, or at least use the night shift for something. You ripped it out. Hey, that's always an option too. One of the most freeing things that I ever did was rip out whole completed projects that I didn't use or use. You didn't feel the yarn and the difference, though. If you could have reached into the camera, you would have frogged it too. I'm sure I would have, Evie. I'm sure I would have. But only by looks, I was like, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be beautiful. Don't rip it out. It's fine. I really like that yarn and that sweater. I want you to make it again. Yes, grist is a thing. I know. I mean, and I'm getting it more and more now. It's like you can have two lemon bars, right? And it's like one lemon bar is super light and airy. They're all made with the same ingredients. One lemon bar is light and airy. That person really whipped up the lemon curdy stuff. And then the other one's like a freaking brick, right? Because somebody just plopped it in, stirred it a couple times, and then poured it on. So, I mean, I am picking it up. I am picking it up. Faraday, your family loves to joke about how many socks you've knit versus how many I've made. That's funny. That is funny. See, like I'm a vanilla sock person, and I like that is my go-to comfort. Don't have to pay attention knitting. I know how to do the heel. I know how to do the toe. I don't at this point feel like I need to screw around with that. And so socks are just they just do what they do. Like I know the stitch counts for the people I make socks for, which is not a lot of people. So that's kind of just what I do. So I mean, I think pattern socks are really pretty, and like color work socks are really pretty, but I know that I won't work on those socks because when I want to work on a sock, I want it to be that thing that I can just do while I'm watching my kid do karate or, talking to people at a coffee or, event or something. Um, I do think I wasn't allowed. I think AJ told me I couldn't bring my knitting to a wedding, though. AJ is my husband, so. Why are you ripping out your socks? Are they hand spun and just the first isn't right? Yet somehow my mind wanders and I can still mess it up. Oh, I mean, I suppose. Like yeah, I don't know. I will also say that like when I heard that knitting and walking was a thing, I don't remember if I heard it from Drea Renee Knits or from Nitty Natty, but when I realized that was a thing, I was like, I need to figure that out. So I can do the stockinette for miles while walking. So, which I don't know. Do any of you ever have those conversations with your in real life? You are a. I'm gonna guess that was just like fingers. Um. So, do any of you have that conversation with your partner, significant other, spouse, whomever, your parents, whatever, or your kids, about how much you knit or spin or crochet? Like, do they ever discuss? I remember very specifically my husband. We were somewhere, and we were down in Delaware, and we were walking around the little downtown area, and I had a pair of socks that I was knitting on, and so I was working on them while I was walking, and he was like, "Do you need to do that while you're walking?" I was like, "No, I don't need to, but I like to." So we had this whole conversation. I was like, "Would you prefer that I was on my phone? Would that be less offensive to you if I was staring at my phone rather than knitting on these socks without looking and talking to you?" And once I presented it like that, he was like, "Yeah, that makes sense." You know, because it's like if you can sit there on your phone and be reading that, why can't I be sitting on my like knitting my socks? Yes, I can walk and do it. Yes, I can parent my kids. I can have a conversation. I can, it's not you know what I can do? I can actually host a video live and talk to people while I am simultaneously making yarn. That is freaking bananas. Um, so anywho, having that conversation was interesting. There's a friend of mine. I am a physics math teacher, and you would think I could count to two for ribbing, but ribbing's tricky. Ribbing is tricky because depending on if you do a specific type of ribbing more often than not, like I have a hard time my fingers have a hard time remembering if I'm doing 1x1 or 2x2 for socks because I do switch that up sometimes. So there's that. And purling I can do in that situation without looking, but You know, like I have this shawl that will be done maybe tonight, actually. I'm just going to do one more row and then it's sitting on the couch. I'm just staring at it balefully, just like I just want it to be done. Did you know? Did you, if any of you wear glasses, did you ever expect to be the person that looks over your glasses when you're looking at things? Because right now, I feel like I'm channeling every woman in my family that has glasses and that has looked at me just like over the tops, just like that. I've turned into that. Um, the kid noises are great. My oldest just left to fly home after being here for 10 days. Oh, I'm sorry, Faraday. Those are some big mom feels. Those are some big mom feels for sure. I'm a little older for having I don't think I'm older than my friends. Like I have friends whose kids have graduated high school already. Um, have gone are in college. I have friends who I have friends that are now grandparents and their children did not have kids like in high school. So I mean they were young, like 18, 19 when they had kids and when they had their kids and then when their kids had kids, but still like I gave birth the same year two of my friends became grandparents. Like you want to talk about a complete and total mind, like dang, that was an odd thing. Yeah, Shea Bear, wow. Yep. I mean, it's like it makes sense. If you have a kid when you're 18, 19, even 20, and that kid is 18, 19, or 20, and then they have, it makes sense. Your kid is 2, and a classmate of mine is about to be a grandparent. It felt weird about. It's true. Like it does feel a little odd, you know. But so Faraday, I get to hear all of these big parent feels about these kids that are graduating high school, leaving home, going to college, coming back. You know, I'm sitting here going, I'm like, well, we're gonna start potty training any day now. So, vastly different places of life, but big parent feels all the way around. That's for sure. Um, you know, I'm glad you were enjoying the little kid noises. So, you want to put it back on? Okay. You want me to rewind it? Okay. So yeah, that's it's just one of those weird parent things where all of a sudden you meet I meet some of my kids' friends' parents and it's like, oh, I'm like 15 years older than you. Like, okay. It was hilarious when my sister became a grandma, but now mine say they aren't going to have any. Ooh, well, I mean, how old are they really, though? Because I used to say that when I was in my early 20s, and I very, very quickly changed my things started ticking and things changed. So, you know, I really wouldn't take anything super seriously. Plus, if they haven't found their partner for life yet, you said it until you became. I'm sorry, Shaver. That. Yeah. Okay. Meh. I don't know. Faraday, do they have like significant others or partners that they may change their mind with? Yeah. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. And you know, having kids teaches us that we don't always get to make the decisions. It's like they have opinions and thoughts and like their own people. Ugh. Who said they could do that? Come on. Yeah, Shaver, I like I understand that sentiment. um you're in the same boat, Coralie? Did your daughter not? You have a daughter, I think, right? She doesn't want to have kids? Or did they just leave? I can't remember. Um yeah, it's I think the dinner energy is kicking in now for her. She's like, she's got the kid zoomies, like that cats and dogs get, except it's kids. Oh, 50, 5 kids and the baby is 21. Oh, but the baby is 21. That's fine. I was like, you're still waiting to have kids, Carly? I thought you had some. You got like a basketball team, right? 5 players for basketball? I don't know. You're laughing sitting here. It isn't really an issue, and my comments look so bleak. I was just enjoying the girls in the background. It's not bleak. It's not. No, but it is big mom feels though, or parent feels, I should say. Parent feels when I remember my dad when I would come home from. I lived in various different places in my early 20s, all over the U.S. And I would come home for visits, and my dad wouldn't. He would pick a fight with me the day before I would leave because he was upset that I was leaving. It took me years to realize this. Years, like years and years, like therapy to realize this. And it was like, oh, you were just having parent feels and didn't know how to like manage that. Poor guy. You're still a jerk about it, but poor guy. you know. yeah. I look back now and I'm like, oh, I wish I had been more understanding of what was going on at the time, but I was a dumb kid and certainly did not. So, you know. Therapy is so good. If you haven't tried it, I highly suggest it. Um, but anyhow, all right. This little one is now running back and forth and hitting a mirror. It's not going to break, but your oldest are 34. That's amazing. Are you hitting the mirror? No? Okay. Um, but I do think I am going to call it. My wheel's starting to squeak. I need to oil some stuff. I need. Kid zoomies are so funny. And it's just like, yes, tire yourself out, child. Yes. Be ready for bed when it's time. But I do want to say thank you to everyone joining me tonight. Don't forget, I am on Instagram as Coastal Wool Washing. You can find my wool washing services at coastalwoolwashing.com. Obviously, I'm here as Amanda Made It. And I will hopefully be doing another live tomorrow. And, Turtle Fleece is winding down. But that doesn't mean we have to stop being friends. If you've liked what's going on, I do do. Child. I'm a child. I am also, I do have a semi-regular podcast that I put up maybe every 2 or 3 weeks. So if you care to see more. And this has been very successful, so I'll probably do more lives in the future. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave comments, all of that. And I appreciate you all. I know, they really don't, Faraday. Poop jokes are always funny. And with that, I am going to say farewell, and I will see you on the flip side. Good night.